taxation. You know, it's taxation. There is no difference, anyhow you want to call it. We have in this chamber Chartered Institute of Taxation that has been doing wonderful work. Except there are deficiencies in Institute of Taxation, we do not need to enact another institute to give it a name. Mohammed and Sadiq are the same. You know, so if you say Institute of Taxation, Institute of Fiscal Policy, they are all regulating the same thing, Your Excellency.
You also have ICANN, you have ANAN.
We have ICANN, we have ANAN, we have Institute of Cost Management Accountants. We have so many institutes that are regulating revenue in this country. I do not support that it should go for security. Yes. Thank you.
Discussion will take place there. But, Mr. President, we shouldn't forget that we gave, in this chamber, we gave so many associate powers that you cannot distinguish between them and this bill that we want to enact. We gave Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. We gave ANAN just of recent in this, and we gave Chartered Institute of Taxation again in this chamber, this state assembly. We gave the powers to do most of this. Therefore, I want, if this bill will go for through second reading, I want the committee that will look into it to distinguish clearly between the difference between these two, Institute of Taxation and Institute of Revenue. Revenue and taxation are the same. Revenue policy, taxation management, policy management, they are the same. Fiscal policy and fiscal management are the same. So if we must allow this bill to sail through, then we have to distinguish between the two institutions or three or four institutions that we have in Nigeria. Let's have clear difference. What's the role of this institution and what's the role of the other institutions that are existing? Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Dankwambo. This bill, distinguished Senator Aliero, and I also want to acknowledge all of the concerns that he has adduced as the main benefits for this institute. Because as we all know, we can do, our government and the government of the country can do a lot with improved revenue generation and, of course, enhance fiscal discipline. So, and of course, the need to build capacity and, of course, global competitiveness. So I equally support the idea behind this bill. But I must also underscore another very strong point, Mr. President and my distinguished colleagues. I think in considering this bill, we should also be mindful of all of the powers that this hallowed chambers has in terms of appropriation and, of course, oversight powers. And I think that the capacity and all of the improvement that we're also looking for are better channeled through all of those powers. So in considering this bill, I also want us to be very mindful as to how best can we continue to improve that powers that we have both for appropriation, because with the powers of appropriation and oversight, I'm sure, again, if we zero in very strongly, some of the intendment of this proposed bill too can be better appreciated. So in supporting this bill, I would like to also say that at the public hearing session, we should consider all of the points that I've mentioned. Thank you, Mr. President, and my distinguished colleagues.
An accountant, but before now, I keep hearing about a lot of chartered this, chartered that. I want to align myself with the opinion of Senator Bass that if this should go for second reading, a committee has to be set up to harmonize this, so that when we hear about chartered this, there will be a clear demarcations and clear objectives, clear duties of what each of them does. That's my position, and I so submit.
Thank you, thank you.
Laws, for the sake of creating the bills and all these things, it looks like we are redundant. We don't have anything doing. The best thing is we act on something that is not there or that is necessary. But this one is a duplication. It's a duplication of function. It's a communication. It's a redundancy. So I think I'm not against, just because he's my senior brother, I respect him, but just because you respect somebody, you push somebody that will waste people's time. I think it is better we allow this to rest and concentrate on other things that will certainly benefit from our precious time. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, my name is Dr. Abdul Ningi, and I was a former banker. I'm not going to talk about the merit or otherwise of this bill, but I'm going to talk about bill at a second reading. There is no perfect bill. It carries every bill that comes before the Parliament, carries the good, the bad, and the ugly. So what happens in a bill that is presented before a parliamentary like our own? Is there any one single benefit? Completely one single benefit? If there is, even if it is one, it is our job now to say, go and consider it in a committee. Invite other Nigerians to share their opinion about this bill. Mr. President, this bill, look at the highlights: improved generation, revenue generation, enhanced fiscal discipline, increased foreign investment, global competitiveness, capacity development, better code. So, does this bill share the opinion of other Nigerians? Or does this bill not good enough for other Nigerians? Because we are not enacting these laws for ourselves. Yes, I have had a variety of ideas, objections, and the positive aspect. So usually, when a bill of this nature comes to the floor, even though it's well debated, is to now assume that the sponsor of the bill has taken time to present it to us. That is the first test. The second test, put it to the general public. So I think this bill should be read a second time.
Please, let me draw your attention. I read one order. I read that order. Do I need to read it again? I don't have. Okay. So, well, there's another chartered accountant. Bear your mind, please.
Professional colleagues have stated, this is like duplicating an act that is already in operation. If there's any shortcoming in the act setting up the Chartered Institute of Taxation, we should go into that act and amend it. So if we believe that we can enhance revenue by amending that act, then it is that act that we should be addressing and amending, not bringing a new bill and setting up a new professional body that will be doing exactly the same thing as the Chartered Institute of Taxation is doing. I so submit.
Deputy Leader.
That one for the main reason that if you look at the sequence of presentation, he was able to trace the problem in revenue environment in Nigeria. Whether other organizations are existing or not, the important thing is that there's a focus on the revenue side and the physical side. And in particular, there's emphasis not only in training revenue officers, but in ethically monitoring them. I think this bill should go straight for second reading.
Thank you. Senator Patrick Ndubuisi, an engineer. I give you 1 minute.
Binus, he has already buttressed on that. If this bill is going for public hearing, we'll spend money. Whereas already, this bill has been taken care of by another chartered institute. So, what we should do is maybe we'll refer to a committee to check, is there any amendment required on the existing law? we now bring it. But the issue of second reading, money will be involved, man hours will be involved. We are in a nation, we should think wisely. It's clear to all of us here that this may not pass. So why are we giving that room? That's my point. Thank you.
Ben Senator Ahmed Wadada Aliyu Sarkin Yakin Kefi Magajin Dangin Lafiya, and a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Taxation. I stand here today and now as the chairman.
You're also an accountant. I didn't know.
A banker.
Okay.
A former banker. And a former everything. Because I've been a lawmaker, and lawmakers are into everything. We discuss virtually every aspect of our polity, and I stand as chairman, Senate Public Accounts Committee. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, as earlier on said, there are already existing bodies that are saddled with the responsibilities that this bill, the agency that this bill seeks to establish. And the crux of this is about regulation, fiscal responsibility, and transparency and accountability. The question here is this. We are still struggling in everyday dealings in the polity to ensure effective transparency and accountability within the existing bodies. The bill has good intention, of course, but like Senator Binos Yero said, if there is any aspect in the existing act that we need to amend to strengthen and envelop this package into it, I think it will spare much more of our time, spare our resources, and going forward, a much more effective result. But if it is the decision of our majority of our colleagues for this bill to go for second, will take more of our time, more of our resources, and at the end of the day, duplication of efforts, agency this or institute this, that, and at the end of the day, we may not really be getting the needed and required results because of conflict of interest and duplication of efforts in the discharge of responsibilities. I so submit.
The Senate as a presiding officer on this, because I'm a fellow of ANAN. Everybody knows that whatever this is talking about, those in ANAN is within the latitude of ANAN members to do. Also ICANN, also Nigeria Institute of Taxation. However, we don't well, it's within your latitude, but the tradition is that when you have a bill like this, just as said by Senator Ahmed Ningi, you don't throw it away, you take it to second reading and look and see what you can take out of it. And if there's no way it can go further, then it stays there. So I think we should go by that tradition. But it's within your latitude to decide to pick what you want to do. So those in favor that this bill be read the second time, please say aye. Aye. Those against say nay.
Mr. President.
No, the question is on. No. You can't raise anything now.
You should.
You can't.
You are professional.
You can't do it now. You can't do it now. Those in favor that we should go with tradition to allow you go through, so that in the second reading it can be seen whether to pick something or not to pick. Then whatever can be done should be done there. Those in favor of this, please say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators,
For an act to establish Chartered Institute of Revenue and Fiscal Management of Nigeria as a professional body dedicated to the advancement, regulation, and promotion of excellent revenue and fiscal management practices in Nigeria, thereby enhancing efficiency, transparency, and accountability of public financial management and contributing to the overall economic development of the nation, and for related matters, second reading taken. The bill is referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters, as well as the Finance Committee, to report back within 4 weeks. Let me commend Senator Alero for bringing forward this bill. It shows his passion for the promotion of the means that we've deployed to have more revenue for this nation. And I'm sure by the time the bill gets through the public hearing and all the other processes, the outcome will be something that will be in the interest of this nation. So we thank you very much. It just shows your passion, your dedication to improve the revenue earning capacity of this nation. So we commend you wholeheartedly. Thank you for all those who contributed to this debate. The Leader of Senate.